Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Minolta XD-11. I'm going to start by saying this is what I think the best camera ever made is, and I might be a little bit biased because I started on this one. This is my black XD-11. This is the exact camera that I started on. So I do really enjoy this camera, and it might show in a little bit of bias. The XD-11 was launched in 1977 following the XE7 and continued on Minolta's path of innovation, as it was the first camera to release with shutter priority, which is the XD-11's basically program mode, as if you have too much or too little light, it will auto-select a new speed for you to match your lighting scenario. Along with that, it changed from MC lenses over to MD. It still shared the initial SR mount though, so you could still mount auto rokers, MC, and the new MD lenses on it. You must use an MD lens to use shutter priority. If you want to just use aperture priority, you can use an MC lens. The controls on this camera are relatively straightforward, especially if you already have experience with 35mm SLR. Your shutter speed dial is in the usual placement of the top right, and you have 1/1000th all the way down to 1 second. You also have a flash sync of 1/60th, bulb, which is mechanical, and O, which is mechanical. Here's your selector switch between manual, aperture priority, and shutter priority. For shutter priority, you must set the aperture to f16, and on later cameras, 1/25th would be marked in green, because that is more or less the suggested speed to use, and if you want it to auto-select, you have to put it to 1/25th. On the left side here is your ASA dial. To change your ISO rating, push down on this silver button and twist till you get to your desired ISO. And you have an exposure compensation. You change that by pushing in and pushing in the direction of +1, +2, -1, or -2. You have your hot shoe in the middle, which will use the 320X or any other type flashes from Minolta. It is also just a standard hot shoe, so you can use really any flash. To open the back, you pull up on this. You do have a viewfinder shade for long exposure photos, which you flip up on that to access. On the left side, you have your aperture preview, which you have to press and hold. This is your depth of field preview. Your lens release is right here. Press in and twist. To mount a lens, line up the red dot and the red square and twist right. You do have self-timer, which is about 10 to 15 seconds. And it's that simple. Those are all the controls for the most part. Now, to go over the light meter. Reading the light meter is very easy. One, you have a Judas window to tell you what aperture you're set to, and a small pulley to tell you what shutter speed you have selected. Now, reading the meter in manual mode, which I'm going to switch to here, it's going to tell you what shutter speed to select based off your aperture. Go to f1.4. One's either 2/50th or 500. Aperture priority, it's going to tell you what shutter speed it's going to select based off of your selection. And shutter priority, it's going to tell you what aperture it's going to select based off what you choose. I'll choose 1/25th, and you must set your lens to f16. And there you go. It's that easy. Viewfinder shade, looks like it just blocks it out for long exposure. There are many accessories to choose for this as well, like the date back on the black one I showed you, or this 320X flash, or even this auto winder. There's even one more, which I do have on the way. This is a pretty rare one. It's the Power Grip 1. I own a Power Grip 2, which is for the X100 series cameras. And yeah, I have one on the way. So I'm pretty excited for that. And here's what a pretty accessorized XD looks like. Just imagine a flash grip up off to the side instead of that being up here. It's pretty cool. And now that I have the overview and all that out of the way, let's go to the photo walk that I did. The partial one, I was only able to record a bit because I shot a lot of this roll downtown and I was not able to record down there for obvious reasons. So I'm on at my first spot with the XD. It's got the 50mm f1.7. I was gonna grab the f1.4 or my 24 to 50, but I completely forgot. So I've got this. I'm at this old factory. I'm gonna get those stairs there, and then over there, I'm gonna get a shot over there with like the two walls converging. And then I'm gonna keep moving either to downtown or I'm going to keep moving down this road. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I am gonna get this shot really quick. So I was off frame, but I just got that. So now I'm going to move over to that and get that. There's that. So I'm going to be off to the next location now. I'm either going to head downtown or I'm going to keep heading down this road that way. And here's the next location. And unlike the last spot, there's actually some cloud detail. So I'm gonna meter for the sky, I think, and I'm gonna hope that I still get a detail from the building. So I'm gonna meter for the sky, get the building in there, or I'll just play around with it. We'll see. So and there we go. And now that we're back from that, and I have the results right here, let's take a look at some of the pictures I took. And as I expected, the results are amazing. Minolta's glass is superb as always, and the body was a joy to use, which I expected. It's been my favorite body since I started. I've always picked up the XD-11 over my X700 because it's just that much of a joy to use. Everything about this camera is amazing, whether it's this one or my black body. And that has been the sentiment for every XD-11 I've used because they're just so smooth. They're so well designed. It's small, it's compact. It feels solid, but it's not the... It feels solid. It's not that heavy. That glass is superb, and for lens-wise, for name brand glass, it's relatively inexpensive. And the camera isn't too expensive either. And this is just a camera I can recommend to everyone. There's not a person I wouldn't recommend the XD-11 to, because it'll fit 99% of use cases. And with that, thanks for watching.